We'd like to say hi to Nadine Fleer. The Fleer family was the home of pitcher Dylan Meitner. Let's welcome to home plate Jillian and Victoria Fraser. The Fraser home was home for Matt Brandt and Tyler Rinn. Morgan Emery and the Emery house was home to Aiden Macaris, Nick Veselinovich for a while, and Garrett Lundmark. Please welcome Morgan Emery. The coaching staff at Sylvan Lake also need homes away from home. Wyatt McKnight stayed at the Halsey family home again this summer. Here's Dawn and Kristen. The Hanson family, Ryan, Megan, Rhett, and Hayes, house Hunter Jones, and tonight's starting pitcher in the bullpen, Matthew McKenzie. What happens when you put a player from Hawaii and Montreal, Quebec in the same home? They get to know Alberta real well. The Hartsook family, Brent, Erica, Cooper, and Olivia Hartsook got to house Tai Yukamoto, and earlier this season, Jimmy Pelche. Simon Baker and Kai Rempel stayed at Cindy and Brian Hickey's home this summer. Another valuable host family on billet night. Simon, Denise Arvella, the Mesa family. They were the home earlier this summer for Ben Bowman. Here to make the presentation is pitcher Leroy Tavares. Leroy Tavares and Jaden Flores making the presentation to the Mesa family. Ken and Tina Hooley were back this summer. Longtime billet family. We appreciate you very much. You can see their smiling faces like all of our host families at the ball games each night. They were the home for Josh Tucker and Anthony Gilbert. The Miette family, Derek, Brittany, Jolie, and Lennon got to know and house Bryce Hampton this year. It's a long way to Elnora. So the Simpsons stayed in Sylvan Lake. Late in the season, the Gulls reacquired Cleary Simpson. Please welcome Brendan and Lana Niebrandt, the Niebrandt family, home to Cleary Simpson. Gulls players Reese Usselman and Jackson McDonald stayed at the Harkema family home this year. Here's Jeannie Roy. And Jeannie and Roy. Hi, guys. Thanks so much. You'll recognize one of our Batgirls this season, Michelle Sinclair. Her family with Kendra and Andy, also billets this season, and we appreciate their support. They were the home of number 4, Maddie Fung. This summer, the Whitney family home was a busy place. They were home for Josh Dolich. Here's Tammy and Ella. Thanks so much to Loretta and Dwight Zielinski. The Zielinski residence housed the big man, Nick Veselinovich. Now we'd like to welcome the remaining billet families and host families that took in one or more Sylvan Lake Gulls, including the Terrios, the Marshalls, the Brazins, the Gathercoles, and the Campo family. Brett, Amy, Darcy, Lori, Cliff, Pam, Stephen, Lori, Susan, Nicholas, and Ridley. They were the home of Jacob, Rowan, Mickey, Brooks, Matt, Leroy, Jaden, Bryce, Tripp, and Mason. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for all of our amazing host families with your Sylvan Lake Gulls. At this time, we'd like to bring forward billet coordinator Marnie McMahon, along with head coach Jason Chatwood. And here's Akil Samuel, the president of baseball operations for the Gulls. Between the coaching staff and on-field components of baseball here at Gulls Field, the home life and the business operations, our billet coordinator remains one of the most important people within the organization. Marnie McMahon arranges, organizes, stays up late, and gets up early. She is a huge component of Gulls baseball, and we appreciate her so much. Thanks, Marnie. While we let everyone pose for a proper billet appreciation photo, I'll draw your attention now down the first baseline as we welcome back to Gulls Field, Jared Waldo, the game day host of your Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Jared, what a very special night. Great to have you back. You've got someone special with you tonight.
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much, Joe. And I appreciate that.
Welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Then there was 5. That's right, 5 regular season games left for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, with 4 of them being right here at Gulls Field, Pegattle Park. What you're witnessing right there on the field, Billet Appreciation Night, as we welcome you into the Gulls Nest. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gulls broadcast on FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. Jim Cleggett, I'm Cale Clark. Glad to have you tuning along, as this one is going to be a big one. All games from here on out mean a lot more than they did a month ago or so. So we're really excited to bring this one to you, as the Lethbridge Bulls make another visit to Sylvan Lake, and the Gulls had their work cut out for them last night, and that's where I think we should start off with. It was a gritty win against the Energy City Cactus Rats. Both teams kind of took turns batting and hitting some runs in, and at the end of the day, it was the Gulls that came out on top.
And that seems to be the common thread with most of the games with the Energy City Cactus Rats. They just seem to have a thing about playing here and playing against this team, and they seem to bring out their best effort. And that's what we saw last night. Again, Archer Blumenshine, who had pitched on the 26th, comes in and throws 7 innings again this time around. And you got the same result, unfortunately, for him. But that just shows how good these guys can be when they really put their minds to it. And it was a good game. And Matty Fung, clutch.
Yes, absolutely.
The 2-run homer, and that gave them the 5-3 lead, and then the Cactus Rats closed it to 1, and then some great pitching to close it out.
Absolutely. Matty Fung with 3 RBIs on the night. And then, let's take a look at tonight with the Lethbridge Bulls being in town. Now, the last time the Bulls were in this building was back on July 20th. It was a Sunday night game, a 6 o'clock start. And we had a little bit of a rain delay, I believe an hour rain delay, so it actually ended up being a 7 o'clock start. But the Sylvan Lake Gulls started on time, and they never looked back. 12-0. They ended up defeating the Lethbridge Bulls. Junior Garcia that night had a night. He went 2 for 3 at the plate, and he had 4 RBIs.
That's right. And that game got called after 6?
Yeah, 6 complete innings.
6 complete innings, because Mother Nature said, I've seen enough. And I think Lethbridge had seen enough as well at that point. 12-0, it was pretty much over, and they said, you know what, we got to drive home. Let's just go home.
So Lethbridge obviously is 1 game back of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, 4 games back of the Okotoks Dogs. Gulls 3 games back of the Okotoks Dogs. So it's all mattering from here on out, as I mentioned, with every single game. Sylvan Lake Gulls, as we take a look at the standings in the West Division, and there you have it. Fort McMurray steps right back into 4th place after the Energy City Cactus Rats, as we mentioned, lost to the Gulls last night. They're only half a game up on the Cactus Rats. So that's going to be an absolute battle right to the bitter end for who's going to get that last playoff spot in the number 4 spot. Tonight is almost like a preview of what we're going to maybe see. Sylvan Lake now still has a chance, that is, to get and catch the Okotoks Dogs. They have 2 games against the Dogs, but the Gulls also have to win 2 and hope that Okotoks loses 2, and that could come ultimately down to those last 2 games of the regular season.
It just might play out that way. If you're going to be a Hollywood script writer, that's how you would set it up, in my opinion.
And then, of course, we got a game tonight and tomorrow night against the Lethbridge Bulls, between the Gulls and the Bulls. So, these next 5 games are going to be so crucial for how this playoff picture shapes up to be. I think we know for sure the top 3 teams that are in, obviously. It's going to be what's going to happen in that number 4 seed. Is it going to be Fort McMurray? That's going to make it a very, very long drive for that first place team. Or is it going to be the Energy City Cactus Rats, which makes it no driving at all, because the Energy City Cactus Rats will be playing at whoever's field they will take on in that first round of the playoffs. So the boys are looking ready tonight, aren't they?
Interesting, the meeting here. Kai Rempel seems to be in charge. He's the one that's giving all the cheering, and he's very animated in the middle of that huddle. He's the spokesperson, I guess, tonight, whatever it is. But the guys seem loose, and they always seem ready. And it doesn't matter what the Bulls throw at them. I think they can handle it because they're in that mindset now. So, well, we shall see. We've got a, a big game, and a big game. And they're all big, as you mentioned.
And I got to talk to Kai Rempel, I got to talk to Nick Veselinovic, and I got to also talk to Tyler Hinn. And I asked them, I said, are you guys understanding and ready for these next few games? Because they're going to be big games. Like, oh yeah, we're ready to go. Like, we got to get some big wins here. And at the end of the day, they're their own writers of the story on how that postseason picture shapes up to be. And you want that home field advantage. That helps with only 3-game series. That home field advantage could mean a lot in a series.
Well, and it is an advantage, I think, playing at this stadium.
Absolutely.
I really think it is. And with the fan support that these guys get, I'm not saying that other places don't, but it just seems a little more, I don't know, energetic, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But,
the crowd
you want to play at
behind.
home, you get that last at bat too. So that's kind of the cool thing about baseball. And there's Matthew McKenzie, the starting pitcher tonight, who nothing seems to faze him either. He just kind of does his job. And he's got a 30-hour drive ahead of him at the end of the season as he heads down to Dallas, Texas.
It's a long ways to go.
Yeah.
This is the batting where he's going to face, as we see some really big names in the Bulls lineup, Bernie Sakaris, Lee Matsuzaki, Carter Clairhout, who always loves playing here in front of his home crowd, being from Red Deer, Alberta, Jack Kaliski, the DH, Steven Anderchek, Brendan McTavish, Adonis Bernal, Will Turner, and rounding out the batting order is J.C. Spinoza playing shortstop tonight. So it's going to be an absolute bird fight, if you will, or a bowl fight, whatever you want to say, depending on who you're looking at and how you're looking at it. As Matthew McKenzie, you're talking about how good he has been lately, and this is his 7th start. He's second in leading the team in strikeouts with 41 Ks on the year. He's got over 33 innings pitched. He's only given up 12 runs, 11 of which were earned, and 30 hits with a 2.97 ERA. So he has been quite solid for the boys in blue lately.
Yeah, this will be good for him. A good test, as his Bulls lineup is no slouch. There's a lot of good bats in there. Clairhout, Kaliski, and Andrzejczyk, those 3 come to mind. They're in the meat of the order, 3, 4, and 5. And they start things off. Bernie Sakaris, the left fielder, will face Matthew McKenzie. And we are underway with a first pitch for a strike.
Trilliant Real Estate. We are fiercely local.
Well, and Lethbridge has this guy leading things off, who's leading the league right now in batting average at .410. Bernie Sakaris, the #1 batter in the league, and that's someone that you always got to be cautious of when he's in the batter's box, as Matthew McKenzie has things starting quite difficult right off the get-go.
And fouls that back for a 1-2 count on the leadoff hitter.
Yep.
Another nice night for baseball.
Beautiful.
We've lucked out.
It's gorgeous. Hot. We're in the heat warning for the first time this summer. We're in a heat warning right now, Jim.
Really?
We are.
I didn't find it that hot.
Well, yeah, fair.
Maybe that's just me.
Maybe it's because you're on those pills.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sweating right now. This
Oh,
room
yeah.
is hot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just fine.
No, I believe it. It's toasty in here.
That misses down low. Full count now on Sakaris.
Lethbridge Bulls have a number of guys that are among the league leaders in batting and as well as pitching. They got an absolute ace of a pitcher, and this is an ace of a batter. Bernie Sakaris leads things off right up the middle over the head of Matthew McKenzie. There's a reason why he hits .410 on the year.
Right back up where it came from. That'll lead the right fielder, Lee Matsuzaki, into the batter's box. And Sakaris over at first base with that base hit on a full count. first pitch in there for a strike to Matsuzaki. Levi Wagner is the home plate umpire tonight. Matt Payne, the crew chief, is over at first, and the third base umpire is Clayton Wandler. The men in black. And McKenzie up 0-2 on Matsuzaki. That misses outside. A little different feel in the crowd from last night's game, which was not a Gulls home game, but it was here, and the Energy City Cactus Rats were the home team. Some of their supporters came down, some Gulls supporters. I think that we had maybe about 500. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge attendance, but I'm probably able to find exactly how many people scanned in the door just by looking at yesterday's score. And it was 595.
Well, not bad.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
Not bad at all.
And a good play there by Brooks Bachman over at one. And they
wow.
try and turn this double the hard way with Matthew McKenzie covering over at first.
I mean, this is a heck of a play by Brooks Bachman. He lays out for it, makes the stop, and then gets the throw in time to second. That's the surprise. Some guys would just turn back and just try to get the first baseman out at first, but Brooks Bachman had other ideas, and he gets the lead runner, which was huge. And then they still managed to make the connection on the double play attempt with the pitcher over Matt McKenzie coming over to cover.
And it keeps the double play in order.
Absolutely.
Which is always a nice thing for the pitcher. Carter Clairhout from just down the road in Red Deer, playing for the Lethbridge Bulls. He's been a fixture with that team for several years now.
I was just going to say, even when the Gulls came into the league, 5 years ago, Carter Clairhout stuck true to his team of the Lethbridge Bulls and did not want to move.
Loyalty.
That is loyalty.
I like that.
As nice as it would have been to have him on our side, because we know how great of a ball player he is.
He's a big young man, and he packs a punch in that bat.
He sure does. And he's a nice young man, too.
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely.
You know him more on a personal level. You coach hockey together?
Refed.
Refed hockey, my apologies. That's what I meant to say. But
I refed him while he was a player, and then he turned into the dark side and came over to referee.
Turned into the dark side.
And he was fun to ref with, too. 2-2 the count on Clairhout. Base runner over at first in Matsuzaki. One down here in the top of the first inning. Gulls wearing the baby blues again. They seem to wear these ones more. I think. I like them.
It was funny walking up with Big Vess and Kai and Ty. They made a big comment on that, like, "Oh, we're wearing the baby blues again tonight." That was the first thing that they noticed walking into the ballpark today. And they like it. I think they like the baby blues.
And that's fouled down the left field line and out of play. Well, they can do several combinations. Because you got the all whites, then you got these ones, then you got the dark blue or the darker blue with the pinstripes. So those are the three combinations, but there's a couple others that they can do with these tops and the white bottoms. And Matthew McKenzie pulls the string on that pitch, and strikeout number one on the night is Carter Clairhout. A good pitch there by McKenzie.
Absolutely.
Who is taking business in college. He looks like he might be a pretty good businessman.
I could see it, yeah. If not that, I mean, he likes broadcasting. Or he'd be good on a mic, as this is thrown right down to second.
And they got him. Oh.
I thought he slid past.
I thought, well, his foot came off the bag. And Cleary Simpson was right there. Let's just see what Well, we can find out here on the replay. Now watch, he goes over the bag. And Simpson, there he is. He's off the bag. Oh, he just got his toe
And he
back
hung
in
on.
time.
That's a good play. Good call by the umpire who's right there.
Yeah, a very good call.
Jack Kaliski, he's a dangerous man at the plate who's over at second right now. He's one of the league leaders in RBIs.
He usually is up there. That name is always in the top 5, I think, as far as RBIs.
Yeah, and he's got a guy over at second.
With 2 down. And is this going to drop? Yes,
is.
it will drop in front of our center fielder, Kyle Lewis. And so the Bulls, who failed to get on the board in 6 innings of play last time they were here, have cashed in already here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, right on cue. Kaliski gets his 45th RBI, who's 5th in the league of leading RBI totals. So he does what he does best, lifting into the hole and the gaps.
That's in foul territory, and Bachman close to the fence and runs out of room, and the ball catches the mesh. So Kaliski over at first. Steven Andricic is the batter. And the Bulls with a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the first. That's fouled up against the screen. 0-2 now. A one hopper to Yukimoto. He flips it over to Cleary Simpson for the force out at second. And the Gulls get out of the inning, but the Bulls score first. 1-0 Lethbridge. Sylvan Lake coming to bat.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected. Because it truly is. And it's all we think about. So you don't have to.
There's the starting pitcher for the Lethbridge Bulls in number 44, Max Mrakovic. And
Maxime
Mrakovic, but they put him on the roster as Max,
Yeah,
Max for short. So
that's cool.
a cool name, that's for sure. And he's got the flow and he's got the pitcher stash. He's looking pretty good on that mound as Mrakovic. We take a look at what he's accomplished so far. He's got 8 starts under his belt before tonight, so this will be start number 9, 38 Ks, 42 innings pitched. He's given up 44 hits, 26 runs, 22 earned runs, and a 4.67 ERA. Here's who he's facing. Tai Yukimoto lead things off. Jaden Flores, Brock T. Arena, the 1-2-3 batters. Anthony Gilbert, Cleary Simpson, Brooks Bachman, Matty Fung, Junior Garcia, and Kyle Lewis at center field will round out the batting order. Matty Fung, he's going to be coming into this one with, I'm sure, a little bit more confidence because of a huge night that he had in that 3 RBI performance.
Yes. You know, and I asked him about the carrying the bat most of the way down first baseline. He says, I wasn't sure if it was out. and he wasn't sure it was fair.
It was close. It was
both.
He was trailing to that foul line, yeah.
So he didn't want to embarrass himself by flipping the bat or anything, and
yeah.
it stays in the park or goes foul.
Speaking
and
of that,
Yakamoto
how about that one?
says, okay, goodbye. We are now tied at 1 as Tai Yukamoto with a leadoff homer to bring the score to 1-1, just like that.
That was almost a deja vu view of what we saw from Matty Fung last night. Right down the right field line, exact same pitch, turns on it, and Tai Yukamoto ties this game up with a leadoff solo homer.
And the right fielder, Lee Matsuzaki, was pointing that it was foul, but the first base umpire, Matt Payne, who's the crew chief, said, nope, that is a fair ball, and that is a home run. And Jaden Flores will step in now. Checks his swing. Wow, already a charge into the crowd, courtesy of Tai Yukamoto.
Wow, that left in a hurry. That stayed low too. That just had power behind that ball. He got all of it.
Well, he's been hitting the ball pretty good, and he's been hitting it in spots where these guys aren't. And then he hits it hard, and sometimes it goes right to somebody. But that one, not a chance.
Yeah. Well, here's the RBI leader for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and Jaden Flores hitting .333 on the season. He's got 6 long ones himself that have cleared the fence.
And he's got the bedazzled cleats on tonight, too.
He sure does.
And he tries to lay down a bunt, but he fouls this back against the screen. They count now 2-2. Look at those shoes.
Those are pretty.
Isn't that something?
I love them. I love those. Those are so nice. Yeah.
His sister did those.
Sure did.
Once again, we'll give her a shout out.
Well, that's impressive. Like, that's a great job on the shoes. And
Oh,
to keep that bling on those shoes when because you know he's a fast guy. He can almost burn that stuff right off those cleats, but whatever she used to keep that sparkle on those shoes, she did a terrific job. That's stuff that looks like you would buy out of a store. Like, she did such a professional wrap on those shoes. You would think that those shoes came like that.
Ooh, called third strike there is Jaden Flores, who has had that happen to him a few times this year where he thinks that he's got himself a walk. He's taking his stuff off, and
yikes,
that was well out of the strike zone.
I think so.
So Max Marakovic got the call on that one. And Jaden Flores is strikeout victim number 1. And Brock Tiarina will step in now. First pitch to him is a ball.
Oh.
And the foul tip, bat off the mask of the catcher.
Yikes.
Yeah, lots happening on that play.
Let's take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay here as he just lets that go and oof. Ouch.
Yeah, Adonis Bernal just goes, oh, well. You know,
well, yeah, he
ball,
shook it off.
bat, doesn't matter.
Yeah, he shook it off pretty good, but
yeah.
that had a lot of speed coming around. And not only did he get the ball off the face, I think, yeah, he got the ball off the body as well, and then the bat. Double whammy.
And Tiarina did come back to him, and
oh, of course.
they had a little chat, saying,
yeah.
hey, sorry, man. And that's the way it should be. He's not doing it on purpose. Although there was a situation way back in 1960-something, 66, I think, where a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, and I'm trying to think of his name, and it's escaping me. Anyway, it was against the Dodgers, and Giants and Dodgers, big enemies, always, right, on the West Coast.
Yep.
And just let Marakovic get set here on the 3-1 pitch. And Fiorina grounds this down to first, and Claerhout will take it himself and step on the bag for the second out. Nice solid play by number 23 over at first base. Makes it look simple. So, anyway, one of his players got hit, and one of the Dodgers players got hit, and so the Dodgers said, well, to their pitcher, you got to hit one of their guys now. And Sandy Koufax said, well, I'm not doing that. He was that kind of pitcher. He wouldn't do it. And so the catcher said, no, I'll take care of it. So the guy who hit him was batting, and then that's when pitchers were batting, right?
Yeah.
And he took the ball and he fired it back to the pitcher, but he fired right behind the guy's ear. Like he just about hit him in the head with the ball coming back to the pitcher. Oof. And the pitcher for the Giants turned around and clobbered the back catcher with the bat.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No, you can't do it anymore. But as it turns out, they were friends after that. Go figure.
Yeah.
We are through one complete. Gulls and Bulls all tied up at 1. Top of 2 coming up.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus 2 weekly shows including the WCBL Report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday, and also the WCBL Game of the Week pregame show leading right up to game time every Thursday night. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Matthew McKenzie for inning number 2 for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He'll face Stephen Andrechik, Brennan McTavish, and Adonis Bernal. 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order for the Lethbridge Bulls. All tied up at 1. Bulls scoring in their top half of the first, and then Tai Yukamoto leading things off for the Gulls in the bottom of the first with a solo homer over the right field wall. And McKenzie is up 0-2 quickly on Stephen Andrechik.
It's, I believe, McTavish. Brendan McTavish
Oh,
at
it
the
is
plate.
too.
Stephen Andrechik was the one that grounded out to end that last play of the last inning.
Yeah, I made a mess of my score sheet already.
That's all right. That happens. But
Yeah, it happens a lot.
McTavish 309 on the year, hitting with the batting average. He's got 51 hits on the year, 37 RBIs, and he hits this right back to the pitcher, and the throw goes wide. Brendan McTavish is going to have 3 here on that play. That is a huge mistake on the mound. That's tough.
That is tough.
This one is right off the leg. That was a heck of a play by McKenzie. He stomps it with his right leg, pops it up to his glove, or his hand, sorry, and then the throw just couldn't finish the magic on that play. That would have been a gorgeous finish, unfortunately for him.
That would have been something. That was quite the play. That's fouled out of play.
It's a foul ball here at Gulls Field, brought to you by Pay-Per-View Glass. Thank you.
If he makes that throw, absolutely, Calvin Bellows just said that would have been the highlight of the year around the WCBL. That was quite the play.
Yeah.
That's all the hacky sack those guys play. Came in handy there, but like I say, he just aimed that throw and Oh, he tried it again. As Yukamoto makes the play, but not in time, as Adonis Burnell slides head first over first base and is safe.
Yeah, these Bulls are looking really good right now, as that was hit again deep in the hole. Hard spot for Yukamoto to get to. And the throw was a great one, but just unfortunately not in time for the Gulls.
Number 15, Will Turner.
And Adonis Bernal obviously with the speed and the slide to beat out the throw. So
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that again goes to show why you can't make mistakes against any team in this league. They'll make you pay every single time. Or if not every single time, most times. And it's just the same story we see time and time again.
1-1 the count on Will Turner, the third baseman. He grounds this foul towards the Gulls dugout. A 1-2 count. And Matthew McKenzie, and Will Turner knew that as he just walked right off. He said, yeah, no, he got me. That's strikeout number 2 on the night for Matthew McKenzie. And that'll bring up the shortstop, J.C. Spinoza.
I'm thinking that's a huge strikeout for Matthew McKenzie just to settle into this game. Probably not happy with how this inning got away on him quickly, after making what looked to be an absolutely outstanding play by a pitcher to knock it off your foot right to your hand, and then just unfortunately for him couldn't connect with Brooks Bachman.
Crazy play.
Yeah, that was wild.
And that's on the outside corner. The count 1-1 now on Spinoza. Adonis Bernal, the base runner, over at first, with a very safe lead. Grounded to Yukamoto, could be 2. There's 1, and there's the second one. A good combination of Yukamoto, Cleary Simpson, and Brooks Bachman erases any more threat by the Lethbridge Bulls, but they do get one more. It's 2-1 Lethbridge. Gulls coming to bat.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field, the friend next door with your family in the next town, the dealership with the ice cream shop. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Max Marakovich will face Cleary Simpson in this inning, Brooks Bachman and Matty Fung, as the Gulls trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Lethbridge already ahead of what they did last time in 6 innings, which was no runs. And Simpson shoots this over towards the shortstop, Spinoza, and he makes a strong throw across the diamond to get the speedy Cleary Simpson.
Yeah, great position by Spinoza. As you notice where he starts off his stance before this ball is even pitched, before it's even hit, he's way back in the hole. He's right on the basically outskirts of the outfield, and he plays deep in the hole. So that's a good positioning by Spinoza, knowing that these Gulls like to hit up through the gaps.
Swing and a miss there by Brooks Bachman, playing first base tonight. He's seen a little more action at first over the last little while.
Yeah, he sure has, yeah.
With, we've got Bryce Hampton and Bryce Turner.
Yeah.
And then Matt Brandt was playing first quite a bit. And Brooks Bachman sends this right back up the middle for a base hit.
And, Brooks Bachman's earned it. He's been playing really well lately for both offensively and defensively. The bat has been swinging really well lately. He's been making good contact, and there he gets things going with a nice base hit.
Well, here comes last night's player of the game and hero, number 4, Matty Fung, will step in to face Marakovich. 2-run homer in the 7th inning gave the Gulls a 5-3 lead, and they held on for a 5-4 victory. And I think I was kind of alluding to that when we started the game, and I said, I didn't get a chance to say not only was the offense there, oh my goodness, yeah. Adonis Bernal, bink, there's another one.
He's having a tough night, isn't he?
It's only the second inning.
I know.
He's got 2 balls and a bat hitting him. Anyway, what I was going to say, an 0-1 count on Matty Fung with Bachman over at first. And Fung checks, but it's a called strike anyway, so 0-2. Is the pitching job done by Jacob Rochelle and then Tyler Hryn coming in. And with 2 out, facing one guy with runners on first and third, bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah.
And he came in and did the job, got a pop-up. This is grounded down to first, and Claire Hout will take it himself and step on the bag. That moves Bachman over to second, but that's 2 out as well.
Well, that leaves up a dangerous hitter for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, especially the guy that did nothing but damage last time these two teams played. 4 RBIs at the plate in that 12-0 win that the Sylvan Lake Gulls had over the Bulls back on July 20th.
Junior Garcia. Humberto. With 2 down, Bachman over at second, and he's swinging at the first pitch.
Heads up, fans. Heads up, please.
So here's the here's the mindset sometimes of these baseball players. I asked Tyler Hryn, I said, so coming into a situation like that, I said, what do you feel like? What's your feeling there? He says, you know what? He says, I'm a little nervous, but not totally nervous. He says, I've been in this position before.
Yeah.
We played baseball all our lives. And Big Vest was listening to that conversation. He said, yeah, he says, you're coming in, you're inheriting somebody else's problems, so you're trying your best to get them, get yourself out of those problems. And so he says, you bring yourself into the situation. And he says, I'll be honest with you. He says, the most nervous I was when I was running a snap man. I said, what? He says, yeah. He says, I didn't want to trip and fall. And he says, my legs were really sore after that, though.
Yeah, I believe it. That's a long run.
That was a sprint.
It's over 200 yards, I believe.
Yeah, I can't run that far ever again.
Like by the time I hit 100 yards, I am gassed and I'm ready to be done. And then to try to push through another 100 and whatever it is, it's not easy. I did it last year, and I had, right when I was in the middle of being diagnosed with an illness, and I wasn't quite myself, and I was just kind of trying to get over it. And legs were still weak. I still kind of felt feverish, and I decided it was a good idea to race Snapman that day in a hot day too. I think
wise decision.
I think you remember it took me probably 2 full innings or 3 to get my breath back.
Yeah.
I don't think I could talk for a while after that.
No, you were a little quiet there.
In my defense, I did have mono that I did not know at the time.
Okay.
It was in the middle stages of being diagnosed with mono, so
there you go.
It was a rough go for
you have an excuse
myself,
or you have a reason. And Junior Garcia has himself a base hit, I think.
Well, that's going all the way back.
That's going right to the wall. And Junior Garcia with a stand-up double to tie this game here in the bottom of the second inning. As Brooks Bachman scores easily from second on a well-hit ball. Junior gets on it. He gets the barrel of the bat on that ball, and it goes.
Absolutely. I mean, he picks up again from where he left off against this team. He must like playing the Bulls because, my goodness, that was smashed right up the middle.
You're saying he's full of bull?
Maybe.
Or gullible?
Gullible. He's making the Bulls gullible. He's making the Gulls or the Bulls gullible.
He's making them culpable. I could go longer, but I won't.
I believe you can, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just cut it off.
Okay,
right
all right.
Kyle Lewis steps in.
That's hard for you.
Oh, you don't know. The struggle is real, my friend.
The struggle is real. Well, I appreciate everything. I appreciate all.
And Kyle Lewis sends this to Spinoza at short, and he is up with it. And a nice slide there by Kyle Lewis, and a nice slide by Junior Garcia, who just in case, you know. But Kyle Lewis gets thrown out by the shortstop. That's the third out, but the Gulls come back and tie it on an RBI double by Junior Garcia.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field, the friend next door with your family in the next town, the dealership with the ice cream shop. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
Bernie Sakaris will lead things off here. He led things off in the first inning with a base hit. That's funny.
That is funny. That's a good story.
Well, I mean, people obviously don't know the story. You could tell it if you want.
I think you should tell it. You might be better at it than I will.
No. It's your story.
Is it?
Yes.
Bernie Sakaros.
It's not mine. I had nothing to do with any of this.
That's fair.
I just stayed out of the way.
This
is
out
out to left field, and Brock Tiarina, falling backwards, makes the grab out in deep left field, right at the warning track. As Tiarina, you got to check his shoes. That's twice now. Well, mind you, that was he had the twisted turn, and he stayed with it the whole time. And an outstanding catch by Brock Tiarina helping out his pitcher, Matthew McKenzie, with an out. That'll bring up the right fielder, Lee Matsusaki, who got on as the Gulls tried to turn a double play and didn't quite do it. And stole a base and then scored on a single by Jack Kaliski. Oh, and now Junior got one.
Yeah, now Garcia's
a bad night for catchers.
Recipient of that tipped ball.
And this is why I was never a catcher.
Ugh. Ouch. It just rattles your brain.
Oh, I can't
there's a reason
imagine.
why the catchers can get concussions from that kind of stuff. It's,
Well,
yeah, you got a mask on, but that mask jolts your head quite a bit.
Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah.
Now that's why, you know what, there was a change in hockey masks in the late 70s, early 80s. They started going to more of a cage because goaltenders were wearing those masks that were formed to their face.
Yeah.
And when they got hit with a puck, it would cut them because it was right against your face and it was hard plastic. And it would shift a little bit and cut you. So they said, no, this is silly. I mean, it was better than no mask.
Yeah.
Like they used to have. Jacques Plante, look at all the scars on his face.
Big cut there by Matsuzaki.
Speaking of cuts.
Yeah. Right on cue.
Yeah.
Different kind of cut.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
Or what
Thank
we
you.
both did.
Yeah, well, you
Kinda.
were there too. Yeah. You were on the same page.
And this is out to right field. Jaden Flores out there in right field with the bedazzled cleats, and he makes the grab. So that's 2 out here in the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, number 23, Carter Clairhout, who struck out in the 1st inning in his first at bat. He is built in the same way that his dad is, or was at that age, I'm sure. Stocky, powerful, strong arm, good bat. I can't remember if Paul was a lefty or a righty. Doesn't matter. Probably a left-hander because most times, you know, kids follow what's in the house and swing this way. Okay. 1-1 the count on Clairhout. The man who delivered the RBI, Jack Kaliski, is on deck.
Yep.
The first RBI.
Hits are 3 apiece between the Bulls and the Gulls. And just the one error credited to the Gulls so far. That was McKenzie.
And that one came around to score.
That was what, got things started.
And a big swing and a miss there by Clairhout as McKenzie's got him all tied up. Be interesting to see how many innings Matthew goes tonight.
Yeah, especially with a good team like this. And then also you got to get ready for them again tomorrow night.
This is down, and third baseman Anthony Gilbert. And Carter Clairhout, for a big man, can hustle down that first baseline
He
as
sure
he
can.
beats the throw by Anthony Gilbert.
This was a close play over at first. Anthony Gilbert, you know, good job by him to run on that ball. And that's a tough throw to make when you're on the run, but that's the right call over at first base by Matt Payne, the crew chief tonight.
Yeah, tough play. I mean, that big hop that it took just slowed it down enough that Anthony Gilbert could get to it, but it also slowed it down enough that Carter Clairhout could get an extra step over to first.
I wonder how the muscles are for Brooks Bachman over at first. We saw him
after
do the
the stretch,
splits.
yeah.
We saw him do the splits more than once last night. And, I'm wondering if he's feeling a little bit of the effects from that after last night's performance, and if he's going to be able to do the same acrobatic moves that he did last night. As this is lifted into left field, right in the gap, right on the ground, and it beats Tai Yukamoto over at shortstop, gets past him. So the RBI man gets on base and moves Carter Clairhout into scoring position. Couple base hits back to back. The 2-out rally continues for the Lethbridge Bulls.
Well, that'll bring up the second baseman, Steven Andrechik. With 2 down here in the top of the third. And Andrechik sends this out towards Brock Tiarina. He jogs over to his right and makes the grab. So the 2 base hits by the Bulls do not do any damage to the score. We are still tied at 2. The Gulls coming to bat.
Tai Yukamoto will step back in the batter's box for his second at-bat of the evening after hitting an absolute bomb deep to right field. And yeah, he's what's got things going for the Gulls with the bats, tying this game up. It's been tick for tack so far between these two clubs. Still tied 2-2 between the Gulls and the Bulls as Yukamoto swings on this yet again opposite field, and the pitcher in the bullpen just slides over on the bench and says, "See you later." That's Dylan Meitner, maybe.
Nope.
No? Oh, maybe not.
That's
23, sorry. That's
William Hill. Or
Thomas Hill.
Thomas Hill, yeah. Wearing Cam.
Kai Rempel's over
Kai
there as
Rempel
well.
over there, yeah. Kai just, he finds the veteran corner where he's hidden in the corner and can duck behind the fence a bit. You leave the rookie out in the open to get hit.
They're going to call that a strikeout on Tai Yukamoto as we take a look at this pitch coming in, and I don't know, that looked a little inside and down low to me, but I'm not the umpire, and that's the reason why. So,
I mean, I get it. You know, it's hard to call balls and strikes. I get it. But there's the one on Jaden Flores and then that one there where they were well out of the strike zone. I mean, we'll give kudos to the umpires when they deserve it, but we'll also call them out when they have made a dicey call, and that was that one.
Yeah.
Sorry there, Levi, but I think if you see the replay, you'll agree. And Jaden Flores sends this over to shortstop Spinoza, and he's showing that he is pretty smooth over there. I don't recall him playing the last game. Do you?
I don't know.
I think this is the first time we're seeing him.
This is the first time we're seeing him, yeah.
He looks pretty smooth.
He is.
And I think that's going to be the case, folks, over the next 2 weeks. We're going to see some new faces on every team because guys are headed back to their junior colleges and their other colleges, and they need to get down there. It's a little earlier in the Northwest, or not as early in the Northwest schools, but the ones out east, as Wyatt McKnight said, guys will be, the night they finish up, they're out in the vehicle the next morning driving. Matthew McKenzie's got 30 hours to drive down to Dallas. Wyatt McKnight, he's got 30 plus going to Tennessee. So, that's the nature of this league. And I think, and I'm just going to get on a little soapbox here, is that the league should maybe, and I don't know if the owners of the franchises would agree with this, but maybe cut the season by about a week.
Yeah, I would
We
agree.
should be maybe in the playoffs right now.
Yep, I agree. And some of the players agree too. I was talking to, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but I was talking to a Sylvan Lake Gulls player today, and he said, I got to go home tomorrow. Like, what the heck? Like, why can't the league, like, we should be playing playoffs, like, already. We should be already, almost done the postseason by now. He said we should be playing playoffs way earlier so that we can actually get a full season in. And there's the strikeout on Brock Tiarina. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Bulls. Gets Tiarina swinging and missing. And it's a goose egg on the scoreboard for both sides as we head to the top of the fourth. Tied 2-2 between the Bulls and the Gulls.
Matthew McKenzie on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls so far tonight. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Bulls. Brennan McTavish will step in to face McKenzie. And first pitch swinging for a strike.
And McTavish was the last at batter when McKenzie had that play off the foot, the cleat to the hand, and then he threw it well wide. That went all the way out to the outfield, and that foul territory is so wide on this diamond, it takes a long time to get to the balls when they go over to the fence. And it allowed McTavish to advance all the way to third, which then would come over to score a run to take a 2-1 lead at the time.
So 1-2 now the count on the center fielder for the Lethbridge Bulls, Brennan McTavish. Adonis Bernal is on deck.
Tipped foul off the catcher again. Junior Garcia takes one off the dome.
I think if we had an over-under on the catchers getting hit, there might be 6, and we're 4 right now. I think I would go with the over. And Brock Tiarina goes over to the foul line, makes the grab. He's had a busy night already with 3 putouts.
Yep.
That's the third one right there. A little easier than the first one, where he had to backpedal and ended up losing his balance. But as he went down, he caught the ball and hung on to it. So good job there by number 11. This will bring up the catcher, Adonis Bernal. He sends this to deep center field. Kyle Lewis has to scoot back, showing his speed, but he tracks it down in deep center and makes the play.
And that was well contacted by Bernal. I mean, that sounded like it had a lot of distance behind that ball, and if that went to the left field or the right field, that might have been able to have enough to get over, but he hits it as far as the fence stretches towards that 400-yard mark, and Kyle Lewis had to be sharp there with the glove.
Will Turner, the third baseman, who struck out against Matthew McKenzie in the second inning.
Turner hitting .213 on the season, 108 at-bats so far this summer. He's got 15 RBIs. He's struck out 29 times, but he's hit the long ball 4 times this season.
That's down to Bachman over at first. He'll step on the bag, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Matthew McKenzie and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 3.5 innings complete here at Gulls Field. We are tied at 2. Gulls will come to bat.
There's Max Mrakovic on the mound yet again for another inning of work. Inning number 4 for him, as he will face Anthony Gilbert, the 4, 5, 6 batters, to start this bottom half of the inning. Anthony Gilbert grounded out to Carter Clairhout over at first, at last at bat. And Anthony Gilbert has had some really, really good things go on for him here since he's been in Sylvan Lake. 237 batting average. He's got 8 RBIs. He's one of the young or the newer players that have came into Sylvan Lake. He's only got 38 at bats, but he's had an impact quickly and early, as he's got 9 hits.
Well, and not only with his bat, he's made some outstanding plays with his glove and his strong arm from third base.
100%. Yep. He's one of the strongest third basemen we've seen.
Well, you know, between him and Jaden Flores, you put Jaden Flores over there, and we know that there's going to be a bullet going across the diamond as well. Heads up, guys.
Yep, that's true.
You know, foul ball towards the truck, which really isn't a truck. It's a trailer. But we like to call it the truck. It sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler. It's a broadcast cooler term.
1-2, the count on Anthony Gilbert, and that misses down low. 2-2 now. The broadcast truck.
The Green Onion.
Well, it's not very green.
Well, I know, but that's their media name. Yes. Green Onion Media, producing all the Gulls games this year, as this is grounded right down to third base, and it goes foul.
I could see that Green Onion from my house. The actual Green Onion.
The actual Green Onion, that's so known in Red Deer.
It's a water tower in Red Deer, folks. If you don't know that, it's the old water tower. It's not used anymore. Although, I have heard that it is filled with water as an emergency measure, just in case.
Okay.
And why not? Not going anywhere. 2-2 the count on Anthony Gilbert. And a called third strike on Gilbert, and he is the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And Chatwood is fired up there. He's not happy with that call, as he should be. That's below the knees. That's a couple times that Levi Wagner has made a few calls that have just been a little bit outside of the strike zone. And you got to be careful because Wagner tossed out Jordan Blundell yesterday, pretty much around this time of the game, actually. Maybe it was the 5th inning. So he's not afraid to do it. And so if you're not careful, you might be leaving this ball game early. And Chatwood has already gotten tossed just the other night, 2 games ago, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. He and Don Buskus had a little disagreement.
And you said that there's kind of a little bit of a rule with coaches getting tossed in a game. If they get tossed so many times in a summer, then by toss number 4 or 5, it's suspensions.
I think 3 games is a 1-game suspension, 4 games is 2, and 5 is 10.
Okay.
I think that's what Akil Samuel was telling me. I may have got it might have been 1, 3, and 5, or 1, 3, and 10, I guess. Anyway, you don't want to get tossed out, but as Jason Chatwood explained, he said, or his wife explained to me, actually. She said, it was better he got tossed than Junior at that night. Because Junior was arguing the balls and strikes as well. Or debating the balls and strikes.
Fair.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Cleary Simpson is the batter. Elnora, Alberta. I'm pretty sure if he ran for mayor, he might win in Elnora.
I can see it, yeah.
He's pretty popular.
Not just
Although, his sister Paige, if she ran against him, I think she might win. I'm just saying.
Well, just like if you ask them in baseball, who's the better baseball player? Cleary Simpson.
He said that.
Said Paige is
Yes.
the better baseball player. He learns a lot of things from his sister.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of love right there. That's some good brother-sister relationship. Me and my brothers always just try to be better than the other. We never would have admitted the other was better than the other. We still to this day won't, as that is fisted right to the shortstop, who doesn't let anything get past him tonight. J.C. Spinoso, my apologies, making that catch.
A good play there by number 2 over at the shortstop position. He's in the right place at the right time. He just jogs in. Thank you very much. Could have caught that barehanded.
Great play by Spinoza.
That'll bring up Brooks Bachman, the first baseman. He has scored the only run as he led things off, or no, got the only run in the 2nd inning is what I'm trying to get at. He got on base after 1 out and then was driven in by Junior Garcia.
Takes a big cut at that one. I think he wanted to clear the fences with that swing.
We've seen him do that, but
yep. Back in preseason.
Hit the grand slam against the Red Deer Riggers in an exhibition game.
That was a hard hit ball.
It was. On a cold night.
Yeah.
To get it out of this park.
And the kid from San Diego, California knows how cold that night was. And fully layered up that evening. That's right over towards the kid zone as it lands on top of the mesh.
So walking into the stadium, I ran into Mickey McClaskey. He was getting a bite to eat, a big thing of poutine. He says, "Oh yeah," he says, "I like the poutine." I said, "You got to go to Montreal, where that originated." He says, "Oh, is it better?" I said, "Yeah, it's better." And I had to explain some of the finer points of what to look for. And he said, "Oh, the cheese curds." He says, "They don't melt them here, right?" I said, "No, they melt them there." And so it's just a gooey mess of interesting flavors that are all commingling. So a full count on Brooks Bachman, but he, I'm sure he devoured that poutine either way. This is out to left field, and Bernie Sakaris has to backpedal a bit, but he gets there in time and makes the play. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning again for the Lethbridge Bulls. We are through 4 complete, tied at 2 with the Bulls coming to bat.
Appreciation Night, presented by MGM Ford Lincoln. The Welcome to Groups is brought to you by Sylvan Dental Center. Let us know who's coming to the game at
Matthew McKenzie
sylvanlake.com.
getting set for inning number 5 here. 2 runs on 5 hits and a handful of strikeouts for the Gulls starter. And this does more the traditional way with his glove, and then underhands it over to first. And 1 pitch and 1 out as the Bulls start this inning with an out.
And that's got to feel good for the pitcher, Matthew McKenzie, too, because he's already had to field the ball once tonight, and it didn't go his way. And so just to get that confidence back to glove it, control it, make the play, it's got to just kind of feel good to shake off the last chance that he had.
I'm smelling rain.
What? That's not good.
No, it's just got that smell. You know how it just kind of filters into the air? It's a lovely smell.
Well, you don't want it.
But we don't want it. Not yet, at least.
Nope.
Give us another 2 hours. How's that?
Yep, seriously.
1-1 the count here in the top of the order. Bernie Sakaris. That misses down low, 2-1. You know, I am going to bet, and we can't prove it, obviously, but if Matthew McKenzie had made that play over at first after taking it off the foot and then barehanding it as a base hit there by Sakaris, who is 2 for 3 on the night, that highlight would have made it somewhere on the big
boy stuff,
national sports networks.
I think so too.
I think somebody would have seen that and said, "Hey, you guys got to see this play."
Yeah,
this kid in the WCBL made, and I bet you it would have made it.
I agree. I mean, I was talking to Dave next door, in between the breaks, and I said, it's really too bad. You got to give the pitcher an error after what a incredible start to that play that it was. And let's take a look at it again, just in case you're just tuning in now. Off the foot, a little kick to the hand. Yep, throw, and then the throw just goes wide.
Yeah.
For McKenzie, if he makes that throw connect with Brooks Bachman, that was just a nice, easy toss. That's a play of the year.
I think so.
It could be a play of the year. If not, it's making top 3.
Yeah, and he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He put his foot out there on purpose. And then he tried it again. The next batter, the same thing, and he just missed it.
Yeah. So, a little chat on the mound from Matt Hape.
And apparently there was a lot of chat in the dugout in last night's game against the Energy City Cactus Rats in that, guys, get your heads out of your lower body part there.
Okay.
Because there were too many errors, 3 in fact, and some pass balls and some base running errors that the coaching staff were not happy with, and they let the players know that. He slides right into the tag.
Yeah.
A great throw by Junior Garcia, and the tag was right there, put on by Tai Yukamoto. As he breaks for the bag right away, and he just puts the glove there and says, "Here you go, slide into this."
That was a great throw by Garcia. And good placement by Yukamoto, too. I mean, the base runner and Sakaris didn't even try to go around it. He just went right into it. As this popped up right to Brock Tierra, coming a long way from left field, and he makes the catch. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and they will come to bat in the bottom of the 5th. When we come back, you're watching Gulls baseball on FloCollege. Well, it was Billet Appreciation Night here at Gulls Field, and you take a look at all the incredible families and parents that welcome in these young players from the States every single summer. And this is just the list that goes on behind the scenes that you don't necessarily know about, that really do such an incredible job every season to welcome in these players. Without these families, these players would have nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. So huge thank you to our billets of all Sylvan Lake. Those are the names on the board, and it's good stuff to see every single year. Sinclair's are obviously a big name that stands out to us, as they are the billet family to Matty Fung and have been for the last few years, who is at bat right now.
And Rob Fung is sitting with the Sinclairs tonight.
Yeah.
So Matty Fung will lead things off here. He grounded out to first in the second inning. Gulls with 2 runs on just 3 hits. The Bulls 2 runs on 6 hits tonight. That misses down low. Yeah, you know what, the players and the billets have been such a refreshing part of the baseball in Sylvan Lake, because without them, as you mentioned, these kids would not have a place to stay, or somebody would have to, I don't know, you open up a church or something and put a bunch of cots in there and have these guys sleep in there. I don't know, but it's just something about how they've latched onto this team, and they want to be part of it.
Yep.
And they want to be in the lives of these young men for as brief as it might be. And Matty Fung draws a walk here to lead things off in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Junior Garcia, who hit a rocket out to left center and drove in the second run of the game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And that's where we sit right now, tied at 2. So, and thank you to the billet families.
Absolutely, yep.
Very much appreciated. That is a great thing that you do for the WCBL and for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Well, Junior Garcia, as you mentioned, at the plate with Matty Fung over at first, and this is a guy you don't want to get hot in front of you, and he already, with a 2 RBI double, he's feeling it so far early on in this one. He is a guy that can really do some damage with that bat, and obviously we've seen it already with the arm behind home plate.
He's the full package, is Junior Garcia, and just a great personality as well. So much fun talking baseball with him, or anything else. A good pitch there by Marakovic. 1-1 the count on Junior Garcia, Boise, Idaho, and he's at Whitworth University. Although some of these guys are changing. Matty's got a really good lead, by the way, over at first base. I just looked, he's almost got both feet past that. And yeah, I think Marakovic noticed that too. He said, hey, wait a minute.
Yep.
Let's not forget there's a base runner over there.
Got to keep him closer, especially with 0 away here. Kyle Lewis on deck tonight. After Junior Garcia, he'll be the number 9 batter, rounding things out.
Garcia behind 1-2 now.
Both bullpens pretty quiet so far early in this game. Well, I guess it's not so early now. It's we're already at the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yep.
It's kind of zooming along, isn't it?
Oh, now you've just jinxed.
I can't have that power. You're the guy that will say it. If I jinx how quick this game's going, you jinx the rain.
I said it smells like
well,
rain.
it's kind of jinxing it. We don't want it.
I know it's not going to.
Well, oh, it is dark a little bit to the west. But I hope not.
Well, I hope I didn't jinx it.
And I hope I didn't jinx it. How about we undo our jinxes together? As Garcia lifts this up.
I don't know how you can do
down
that.
the first base line.
Carter Clairhout puts the glove on it in foul territory, and 1 down for the Lethbridge Bulls. Kyle Lewis will step in now to face Marakovic.
Center fielder
Great crowd tonight. Absolutely fantastic. A couple companies and businesses in for team bonding nights, and some birthdays in the house. There's all sorts of things going on at the ballpark this Thursday evening in Central Alberta.
That's a great event for a company, I think. You got ball teams coming here to watch these guys play, and thinking, maybe someday I could be out on that field.
I think I saw a 15U Grand Prairie baseball team here tonight.
Yeah, there's one from Lacombe, the Lacombe Dodgers. I saw them up there.
So it's,
but
all
Grand
sorts
Prairie,
of groups.
that's a long hike to come for a baseball. They might be here for a tournament.
Must be a
too.
tournament or some games in a row down here in Central Alberta. Yeah, there's.
Baseball's taking off, folks.
It really is.
Oh, well.
We just got word in our ears that there's no scientific method to undo a jinx, so we're in trouble.
You throw salt over your shoulder.
Yeah, well, where's the salt?
Let's go borrow some from the concession.
Yeah.
We'll try anything. The 0-2 pitch to Kyle Lewis, and that missed. So the count 1-2 now. On the number 9 hitter in the Gulls lineup, he grounded out to the shortstop, Spinoza. In the second inning, his first at bat. One down, Matty Fung. He's kind of shortened up his lead now.
That might be why.
He just about got caught going the wrong way. So 1-2 the count on Kyle Lewis. 2-2 the score. Lewis sends this out of play and out of the stadium.
Lewis having a good at bat here. Really fighting off some pitches.
Well, yeah, and here we are, the 5th inning. Marakovic had 69 pitches on the night. And now there's a lot of people in the bullpen tonight.
For the Gulls,
For the Gulls.
Nobody in the bullpen for the Bulls.
Like even Sully's in the bullpen.
Really? Well, he's kind of outside of it.
Oh, yeah, no, he is outside of it. Yeah,
but
I can't tell.
He's around there. He's towards there.
He's near Rob Manka's station there.
Yeah. Getting ready for the Snapman race.
Yeah, the Snapman race is going to be happening. So, do we actually have a Snapman this time? It's not a player?
I think so.
Okay. 1-2 pitch to Kyle Lewis is outside. Well, a much better effort by the Lethbridge Bulls tonight after getting demolished 12-0 in 6 innings and before the rain came down. It's fouled back towards us, but hits the screen and then drops to the ground harmlessly.
Kyle Lewis, so far this year, he's got 12 hits, 1 double, 11 RBIs, and 3 long balls with the homers.
And he is making Marakovic work hard for this out.
He sure is.
I think I've gotten him at 9 pitches right now.
At least, yeah, I would say so. Matty Fung still over at first. And they're not, and you notice, like, from going from last night, too, the base running was very aggressive. The stealing was aggressive. And they play good teams like Lethbridge and Okotoks, and they kind of step back a little bit from that, as this could be a double play, and it will be. So Lethbridge Bulls get out of a jam here with 1 runner on base, turn the double play, and end the inning just like that, making it a 3-up, 3-down inning. And it'll be still a 2-2 game when we come back to the top of the 6th.
Well, Disco Fever, Friday, August the 1st, brought to you by Adrenaline Motors here in Sylvan Lake, and that is going to happen. That's tomorrow night, folks. And you will be listening to the sounds of the 70s, and having lived through that, I apologize. This disco had its moments, let's put it that way. And that was the moment it had, was in the 70s. But you know what? Some people still like their disco, and you'll get a taste of it here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park tomorrow night. Some of the disco songs that jump off the page for me as Carter Clairhout leads things off here for the Bulls. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, was a classic. The Bee Gees, Staying Alive, was a classic. What was the other one that I had?
This is smashed.
Carter Clairhout sends this deep to right field, but Jaden Flores is there to make the grab for the first out here in the top of the 6th inning. Smooth play by Mr. Flores as he hauls this in, and here's the pitch and the hit. Boom. As Clairhout thought maybe he might have got a little more of this than he did, but it stayed in the park. So I Will Survive and Staying Alive, and then you had Chic with Les Freaks.
Yep.
And you had Disco Inferno, one of my favorites, by a group called the Tramps.
The Tramps, yep.
Yeah. Disco Inferno, Burn That Baby Down.
Boogie Wonderland.
Boogie Wonderland, yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire. There was Earth, Wind, and Fire, Ohio Players. David Bowie had some good discos. Lips Inc. I gotta refresh my memory. Lips Inc. Funky Town.
Okay. Oh, Funky Town.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Everybody
one.
knows Funky Town.
That's right. This is grounded down to second. Clary Simpson up with it and over to first for the second out. But we used to do the thing at disco, and it was called the bump. And boy, I'll tell you, I looked like I was auditioning for a science fiction movie. It's like, yeah, then there was things happening, and the girls loved it.
How does the bump work?
Well,
Do you need a partner?
Yeah, you need a partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you bump. It's either elbows or knees or hips.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody invented that dance, and
Interesting.
I couldn't figure. I ended up elbowing this one girl right in the mouth.
No.
I was like, well, I thought you were going to do one of these.
Nothing like a first impression. Or,
Yeah, that's the last dance we had.
I was just gonna say that's probably the last one you got.
I became a wallflower after that. There's no point in me being on the dance floor. Somebody's going to get hurt, and it's probably going to be me. So 1-0 on Steven Andrzejczyk, the second baseman for the Bulls. 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-2, Gulls and Bulls all knotted up. Which is kind of how I felt after disco dancing, all knotted up.
All knotted up, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
A lot of body parts moving.
Uh-huh.
Some that shouldn't be moving.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just saying. 3-1 the count on Andrzejczyk. Brendan McTavish is on deck.
I love a good dance, though, don't you? Like, just any wedding that you go to, the dance is one of my favorite parts about a wedding.
This is grounded down to Yukamoto. And he throws the ball over to Brooks Bachman to complete the inning. That's three up, 3 down innings in a row for Matthew McKenzie and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. 5.5 played to this point. 2-2 Gulls and Bulls with Sylvan coming up to bat.
Marakovic back on the mound yet again for another inning of work, inning number 6. So we're getting to that point of the night where maybe pitchers are going to be coming down to their last innings.
Yep. Getting that 70, 80 range of pitches. Some guys are pitch count, some guys are innings. And then some are just a combination of both of those. Yeah, you're only in the 4th inning, but you throw in 90 pitches.
Yep.
You know, or you're in the 5th inning and you've thrown 5 pitches. And Tai Yukamoto hits that hard enough and deep enough into the hole to give some problems to Steven Andrechik. And he gets on base with that hit. That was a tough play for Andrechik going to his left.
Yeah, deep in the hole. It was a great spot. I mean, good stop by the first or second baseman in Andrechik, but great base running as Tai Yukamoto has the wheels. So does Jaden Flores, who's up to the plate right now for the Gulls.
I've got a feeling, and again, the indigestion could come into play here, but Jaden Flores is due for a big one. Oh, ooh. And then he scores the bunt.
Right as you say that, yeah.
Yeah, so it was indigestion.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah. I just have a feeling he's gonna do something with the bat today in a big way. Well, we are at the bottom of the 6th inning, folks, and we are tied at 2 as the Gulls are giving the fans another one of those money's worth games where they get lots of action, not a whole lot of scoring, but some good defense and some tension that builds as we head towards the 9th inning. Tai Yukamoto, the base runner, over at first, and he can steal a bag.
You sure can, and you know it's kind of one of those nights, Jim, that it's feeling it's going to turn into is it's going to come down to one big play. You know, it's going to come down to one big hit, one defensive play. It feels like it's going to come down something that is going to be the reason this ball game ends for one team favorably going away with a win.
Matt Hape is making his way down to the Gulls bullpen, so somebody is going to be asked to get ready soon. 1-2 the count on Jaden Flores. You know, we were talking earlier about base stealing and how the Gulls. So I asked Coach Chatwood, I said, is it just me or is this team really aggressive on the bases when it comes to stealing bases, but also when it comes to getting that extra 90 feet? And he said, well, he says, I think we ran more last year.
They did.
We were a faster team.
Oh, what a catch in right field.
Matt Suzuki makes a pretty good play out there in right field.
Wow.
That's quite the haircut he's got going, too.
I was just going to say, yeah, did he get that haircut cut right around his hat brim there? But no, this is an excellent play here. He slides on the knee and he makes the catch. Absolutely incredible. Wow.
That's a pretty good play. So anyway, he said, yeah, he said, he says, I think we ran a little bit more last year. And he says about the base running, he says, they do tend to get a little aggressive. He says sometimes it's not a good thing though.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, it can cost you.
But now he also indicated, he said Jaden Flores has got the green light. So when he gets on base, if he thinks he can take the bag, off he goes. And he's been pretty successful in that regard, has Mr. Flores. And Tiarina, tries to just drop this inside the foul line, and it just misses. Not by much. And that would have gone right into the corner.
Oh, yeah, that would have been perfect. Yukamoto would have easily gotten a third, I would think, on that play. And Tiarina would be credited a double, I would think, if that landed.
There's another guy that's been hitting the ball hard, but it's staying in the park. And I'm not sure, the wind's kind of coming from left center field. Which is good for a left-hander. You look at that right field wall and go, okay. the wind won't hamper it too much. The 1-1 pitch. I was going to say misses outside for a ball, but it is called a strike. 1-2. Now on T Arena with Anthony Gilbert on deck. All the scoring done in the first 2 innings of this game. Each team getting 1 in each of those innings. And that's where we sit. That's grounded down to third. They're going to try and get the lead winner. They do. And another double play turned by the Lethbridge Bulls, who are on top of their game defensively tonight, as they turn this the 5-4-3 right there.
Oh, those summer nights where you get to play fathead with your friends, right, Walt?
Well, I can't say I'm surprised, but I am kind of surprised. Matthew McKenzie is out for inning number 7 here. He's had 81 pitches on the night, and he's done a pretty good job. 2 runs on 6 hits and spread out over the 6 innings of work to this point. So pitching coach Matt Hape feels he's still got something left in the tank. He's going to keep a close eye on him as he is on the top step of that dugout to watch nice and closely as to what his pitchers are going to do. And that missing outside. 2-0 the count on Brendan McTavish. So defense has been the name of the game tonight, as we've had a little bit of offense, 10 hits. One of them a home run by Tai Yukamoto to lead things off for the Gulls in the bottom of the first. But it's been defense mostly, and some really good defensive plays, including a couple, at least 2 double plays, maybe even more.
Yeah,
I know for sure.
They've had a couple for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's it. Yeah, 2. They've had 2 double plays. So 2-2 the count on Brendan McTavish, who got on an error on one of those almost outstanding defensive plays. The off the foot into the bare hand and the throw over to first by Matthew McKenzie, which just missed. Well, maybe it did just miss because Brooks Bachman had to lean real hard to his right and stretch out. Full count on McTavish, and that's right back up the middle for a base hit.
Well, this is what the Bulls do. You know, they don't go anywhere, and they will make it hard for you to get any kind of out or anything. And that's a great bat from McTavish to land the base hit, his first of the night. And I would think this might be Matthew McKenzie end to the night. And it looks like it might be number 17, who is Garrett Lundmark, getting ready to come into this ball game. But he's not going to take the ball from him yet. He's going to give him another chance here.
I think he wants to see, you know, kind of feel the lay of the land sort of thing, okay? We got the 7, 8, and 9 guys coming up. They've only got one hit between the three of them that I can see. And so he might be thinking, okay, these guys are yours. Do what you do. And of course, he gets all the encouragement that you need from his defensive partner, saying, hey, you know what? Get the ball in the strike zone. We'll do the rest. Adonis Burnell steps in to face Matthew McKenzie. And this is going foul down the right field wall. It gets over into the field to the right of the diamond.
So Adonis Bernal had that RBI single back in the second inning. He flew out to center in the fourth inning. This guy can bat, and a lot of these guys can. I mean, 257 on the year. He's got 19 RBIs, and he gets hit there.
Yep. And that's all Matt Hape had to see, as he's up off of the out of the dugout, and he says, that's it. So he gave him a chance, and the hit batsman makes the decision easier for Matt Hape. But a good job done by Matthew McKenzie. 2 runs on 7 hits through 6 innings of work. And his teammates appreciate the effort by the young man from Nova Scotia. I was going to say New Brunswick. But there you go. Good job, Matt. We'll have a pitching change, and we'll be back with that after this. New pitcher in for the Sylvan Lake Gulls here. Garrett Lundmark takes over from the starter, Matthew McKenzie. And he'll face Will Turner with 2 men on. Turner squares the bunt and pops it foul. We had some visitors in the booth there, Mr. Clark. Can you explain who that was?
Yeah, my girlfriend decided to make a little appearance up here in the broadcast booth, and that's one of her friends that she works with. That's a friend that she works with as well. They do the books for the bar of in Red Deer. and they do a really good job. So they were just taking it all in. She wanted to get a picture of the broadcast booth, I guess, and just come say hi, introduce me to her colleague, and all is good. They're having a good time at the ballpark.
Yeah, she said we've watched about 4.5 seconds of baseball.
Yeah,
So
they
it's a
haven't been
social
watching.
event.
It's been more social than watching of the actual game itself.
She did come in, lean on the desk here. I was kind of looking at the field, and all of a sudden I see a person leaning to my right here. She goes, "I'm your new broadcast partner."
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. As soon as she gets on TV, she would run away. Oh, that would be close for us to get there. That one, that was like, if that was just a little more right, Jim, I might have been able to catch that
you
guy.
probably would have. See, that's our in-house announcer there, Joe Whitbread, caught one a little while back, just like that. It was a little bunt, and so I thought, well, that doesn't count. It's just it's a lame little bunt. It's just soft. I could catch that. Well, maybe not. I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. 1-2 the count on Will Turner. As Lundmark tries to get that call on the outside corner and misses to even the count at 2-2. 2-2 is the score as well. Here in the top of the 7th, the Lethbridge Bulls and the Sylvan Lake Gulls locked in a battle here. And Lundmark missing outside with that one. You know, with these games meaning something now, and not that they didn't earlier, but they definitely mean a little bit more as far as positioning. Not sure how much of a leash these pitchers have. As Lundmark comes in and loads the bases with a 6-pitch walk to Will Turner.
Now the start that Garrett Lundmark, I'm sure, was looking for as he comes into this ball game and was 0 away. Yikes! Yeah, Lethbridge Bulls looking to do some damage here, maybe regain the lead for the third time of the night. And this guy has been hot, not only defensively, but he's been threatening not with the bat offensively. He hasn't had a base hit yet, but they're hard hit balls.
And Lundmark having some problems finding the strike zone right now. From Spokane, Washington is Garrett Lundmark. No, he seems to be struggling a little bit. And Matt Hape is already 3 steps out of the dugout. And he's just backed right back into that top step. And there's a called strike. The fans appreciate that, and encouragement is rained down upon him. 2-1 the count on J.C. Spinoza.
Yeah, that would be huge. I mean, a strikeout right now defensively. The Gulls need it. They need something here that just to turn the momentum, turn the tables. Matt Hape's trying to coach Garrett a little bit on just his twisting, on his release on the mound, on why he's missing the strike zone. He's just coming off the mound a little funny, and he comes off real good there, and that's going to maybe get home, and it will score a run. It was a easy light jog from number 5 Brandon McTavish.
Well, that was ball 4.
And that was ball 4, so yeah. Didn't have to run hard for it.
Well, not what you wanted when you come in to relieve the pitcher, and Matt Hape's going to make a trip over to the pitcher's mound and have a little chat there with Garrett Lundmark.
Well, this is the thing too. As a pitcher, you can't get rattled by the pitches that you're throwing either. There's obviously, we've seen. I'm not trying to put this on any blame on Levi Wagner behind the plate. We never want to make an umpire look bad, but it can definitely get in the head of a pitcher if the calls aren't so strongly consistent, if that makes sense. You know, if you're getting some calls one time and then not the next time, and sometimes as a pitcher you're so worried and getting caught up of what's he going to call on this pitch. Is it going to be a strike? Is it going to be a ball? So I think that might just be what's maybe going through the minds of this pitching staff right now, is they're getting a little rattled with their throws, and they're not focusing on just trying to continue the hard work of throwing strikes. So we'll see how the rest of this plays out.
On top of the order now. This is the leading hitter, Bernie Sakaris, who has one hit tonight. So they've kind of kept him in check. But with bases loaded, this is a prime spot for him. As Lundmark misses inside, the count 1-1. 3-2 Bulls lead the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I thought he actually was throwing that pitch. For a second there, I thought, wait a minute. That's
a little 36-mile-per-hour floater.
That's my speed right there. I could hit that maybe. And a good pitch there by Lundmark. Ties up Sakaris to go ahead 1-2.
Man, this is a dangerous batter to have to face with this situation.
The infield is playing in to cut off the run at home. And Sakaris fouls that back. So there they are, all in on the grass. And Cleary Simpson was talking with Brooks Bachman over at first, saying, okay, if it's to me, I'm going home, and then it's probably coming back to you. And time called there by Sakaris. So he steps out of the box, gets back in, and ready to go. 1-2 pitch on its way. And tight inside. The count now 2-2.
It's just some stretching going on in the bullpen for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. The Bulls, maybe someone might be getting a little loose, just kind of stretching.
And that's fouled off. A defensive swing there by Bernie Sakaris to stay alive.
Yep, good bat for Sakaris. Fighting off this at bat right now with Garrett Lundmark on the mound. Spokane, Washington native. And that hits him.
That hit him. So that's a walk and now a hit batsman, and that's 2 runs given up by Garrett Lundmark.
And that's 2 hit batsmen in this inning. The one that just came to score was the first hit batsman of this ball game. So not what you want to see from the pitching staff of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They're having a tough go right now. A couple walks, a couple hit batsmen, and only 1 base hit. And I've now given up 2 runs in this inning.
So the Gulls now trail 4-2. Lee Matsuzaki is the batter. And he gets a called strike there, and Carter Clairhout is the batter on deck. Grounded down to Cleary Simpson. He fires home to get the runner there, and Junior Garcia held onto that ball, not wanting to make things worse here in this 7th inning. But they do get the runner at home. For the first out of the inning.
Yep. And bases stay loaded.
First baseman, number 23, Carter Clairhout.
So Carter Clairhout steps in with 1 down. 3 men on. And the Bulls with a 4-2 lead here. That's Mickey McCloskey.
Is getting loose right now in the bullpen. Yep, there he is on the rubber in the bullpen.
He thought he might pitch tonight. He's got that poutine in his stomach. He's all ready to go.
Yep.
When he was standing at the concession getting his poutine, I just kind of looked down and noticed that he wasn't wearing any shoes, just his socks. And then he took his poutine and walked down to the bullpen.
Of course, yeah. Gotta feel comfortable, I suppose.
Well, and he's not doing the laundry, so.
Exactly.
3-0 the count on Matsuzaki. And taking all the way. Down 3-1 now on Carter Clairhout. Oh, that's right. Matsuzaki is over there now. And that's right to second base. And Yukamoto.
Oh, they got the double play. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
Holy moly, Yukamoto. What an outstanding play. The Gulls get themselves out of a jam. They give up the 2 runs, bases loaded situation, but a huge double play ends the threat, and the Gulls now have a turn to come to bat at the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back with the highlights on that one next. Postseason tickets are now available. That's right, playoff ball right around the corner. This could be a preview of what you're going to see in the conference semifinals of the Western Conference semifinals. The Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls battling it out right now. Get your postseason tickets now today, available online. You can visit sylvanlakegulls.com for your tickets. Let's take a look at that last play that ended the threat on this bases loaded situation. What a play by Yakamoto to not only tag his base after a soft hit ball towards him, but then to make the throw over to first in time to create the double play all by himself. Well, that was an acrobatic play.
And there was part of me was thinking, I think he got the ball on the other side of the base and didn't touch the bag and decided, well, I just got to keep going and get the runner at first, and that the Bulls would score another run. But no, you got it. He perfect, like right on the bag with the ball, and then fired a strike over to first. There's the first double play, and it's a timely one to limit the damage to just 2 runs in that 7th inning. The 7s were wild there. 7th inning, and 7 batters went to the plate for the Lethbridge Bulls. Unfortunately, the free passes they scored the 2 runs on 1 hit. 0-2 the count here on Anthony Gilbert. Bottom of 7, 4-2 Lethbridge. Like Lethbridge bench is thinking that every call is going to be their call.
Yep.
It's Kai Rempel over there coaching first, I believe. In the absence of Cam Diaz, who had headed back home, there's Mr. Rempel from Calgary.
Yep.
He's looking up here.
Doing a good job. First base coach. trying to still play it cool.
Yeah,
Jim.
he's
still trying to play it cool.
He's always cool. He did such a good job. Him and McClaskey were hilarious in here doing the play-by-play. And another catcher got hit.
Yep. That.
There's Mr. Rempel.
Yep. And he's reacting to that ball hitting the catcher on this play as you take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay. And ouch.
Yeah.
Right underneath the bounce off the turf. Yeah. This guy's getting beaten up tonight. He has been beaten up all night long in Adonis Bernal.
Yeah, I think I said the over-under was 6, and that's 5 now.
Yeah. That's, yeah, not good. Unbelievable.
Well, Anthony Gilbert still in there, 1-2. Trying to get something going here for the Gulls in the bottom of the 7th inning as they're down by 2. And Maxim Marakovich has other ideas as he is still in there at 90 pitches here in the 7th inning. And that was a nasty, nasty pitch. Or as the young guys would say, that was filthy.
Yeah, that was a filthy pitch as Clary Simpson steps into the batter's box now. Gulls looking to come back. They're down 4-2 right now after giving up 2 runs in the top half of this inning. They're getting out hit 7-4. The only error still credited to the Gulls. Gonna need a big inning from the offense here to have any chance.
Well, we know that the Gulls have a flair for the dramatic here by waiting till the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning to do something. And it's a formula that's worked, but it's not one that I would want to recommend to anybody. Is that don't wait.
Yeah. It's usually what happens. They like to make it interesting, that's for sure.
They
if
do.
you ask Jacob Rochelle, he'll be the first to tell you.
And I asked him last night, I said, now that's another time where you've made it a little exciting. He says, yeah. He says, but you just got to go out there and do what you have to do. 2-2 the count. I asked him, I said, we're watching you on the screen, and your expression doesn't change no matter what the situation is. And when the coach comes out and starts talking, you're the same expression. He says, yeah. He says, I don't want to get too high or too low. He says, you get too high, and it might get the other team a little anxious. He says, and then I get too low, and then my team gets a little anxious, and the other team gets a little, a little active as Clary Simpson grounds out to second base for the second out. So he says, yeah. I said, that's that California laid-back attitude, isn't it? And he goes, oh yeah.
I wish I had an attitude like that. I wish I could just turn off the anxiety button, the worry button, the stress button, all that stuff, and just, go out there and, it is what it is kind of attitude, I mean, that's got to come in so clutch, especially being a pitcher. As we know, pitchers have to have such a short memory on the mound. They have to have the most, controlled emotions to be able to do what they do on a nightly basis. It's not an easy position to play. You got to be able to handle the nerves, the pressure, handle it all really, really well.
Especially at this level.
Yeah.
You're trying to make this maybe a career, and so you have to show the guys in the bigger leagues that I can handle the stress, I can handle situations. And
somehow that misses.
Yeah, 1-2 the count on Brooks Bachman. The 1-2 pitch on the way. That misses outside. Adonis Bernal doing his best to try and bring that into the strike zone and get the call. But it goes the way of the batter. 2-2 with 2 out. A 4-2 lead for the Lethbridge Bulls here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
99 pitches for this pitcher, too, as he throws that low, full count to Brooks Bachman. And they're warming somebody up right now in the bullpen for the Bulls. So we think this will be the last inning and last batter potentially for this star, as Max Markovich has had a good game. And there's number 38, Brandon Carter, getting ready.
Full count on Bachman. Oh, and he waves at that pitch out of the strike zone. Maxim Marakovic with quite the game, and that'll probably be his last batter. But he gets a 3-up, 3-down inning just when his team has taken a 4-2 lead. We are going to the 8th inning, Gulls trailing.
Well, it is a 4-2 Bulls lead here at Gulls Field, but lots of baseball happening around the league, including a doubleheader in Okotoks tonight. Energy City, the home team, but the Dogs took it to the Cactus Rats 9-0 in Game 1, but the Cactus Rats are up 4-1 over the Dogs in the bottom of the third of the second of that doubleheader. Madison Hat is up 7-1 over the Swift Current 57s, who had a little bit of a wild night against Saskatoon not that long ago. Moose Jaw down 8-7 against the Weyburn Beavers, and then Fort McMurray down 5-2 over the Brooks Bombers, as the Bombers still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And then, as I was mentioning, speaking of Saskatoon, the Berries up 9-3 over the Regina Red Sox in the top of the 8th. If the Berries hold on to that win, which I think they will, they're going to tie the Sylvan Lake Gulls record that they set last year for the most wins in the regular season, and then they just need one more to break it.
Well, you know, records were meant to be broken. Said somebody way back. We don't know who, but somebody said it. 1-2 the count on Jack Kaliski, the designated hitter for the Lethbridge Bulls. He's got a couple of hits and an RBI. He sends this deep to left field, and Tiarina is on the warning track and now takes a couple of steps back into the grass and makes the grab out there for the first out.
You heard a little bit of a silence in the crowd as that ball was absolutely smashed up high, but luckily for the Gulls, it got caught in the wind, and then Brock Tiarina comes away with it. So a little bit of a sigh of relief here at Gulls Field. They don't want this one to get out of hand. Still in reach, but they got some work to do being down 2. And it's all has to start with the defense first to give the offense a chance.
So Steven Andrzejczyk steps in now to face Garrett Lundmark. A better start to this inning for Lundmark.
Yep.
He had that time in between innings to have a little chat with himself, I'm sure. And probably Coach Matt Hape probably gave him a little bit of advice as well.
Absolutely, and we even saw Matt Hape in the middle of that inning trying to coach from, you know, the bench and telling him, okay, this is where your rotation is on the mound. Your hips are coming through first, or you need to rotate those hips more, is my understanding of probably what he was trying to tell him. Just the release was not coming around fully on the throw.
It just always reminds me when coaches go out there and give a little lesson kind of thing. It reminds me of a story I heard about a guy golfing, and he's got a caddy who was in a tournament, and he was having an awful time hitting left, hitting right, not doing anything right, and he looked at his caddy and he said, "What should I be hitting?" He says, "How about a fairway?" Ouch.
Yeah, smart Alec.
Yeah, I think that might have been the last tournament that caddy worked. But boy, did he get a shot in.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a shot down the left field line. Fouls by Steven Andrzejczyk. They count full now. One down here in the top of the 8th inning. 4-2 Lethbridge over the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And that misses outside. And a free pass given up there by Garrett Lundmark. That'll bring up the center fielder, Brennan McTavish.
Well, and they've stopped the warming up in the bullpen, so I'm not sure if they're going to try to allow Lundmark to get through the rest of this inning, maybe game.
Well,
but
Matt
there's
Hape's,
somebody going over there.
Matt Hape's walking down there.
That's not Matt Hape.
It's not?
No.
Josh Dolich, maybe?
Yeah.
Somebody very tall.
Someone tall.
Yeah.
That looks very similar to Matt Hape.
It does.
Anybody tall kind of looks like Matt Hape. But, yeah, not a lot of guys warming up. They stopped. They did have Mickey McCloskey warming up pretty quickly at the end of that last inning, but then they, I guess, put the brakes on that.
So 1-1 the count on McTavish. With the base runner over at first, and the Bulls holding a 4-2 edge on the Gulls, and a nice pitch there by Lundmark. Puts him ahead 1-2 now. And a strikeout and a throw down to first by Junior Garcia. He bounces it to Brooks Bachman, but no such luck. But they do get the strikeout and a timely one there, as that's the second out. And that'll bring up the catcher, Adonis Bernal. So a much better inning so far for Garrett Lundmark.
Yep.
The damage being done in the 7th inning with 2 runs. Oh, and there's a very slow steal.
And he came off the bag, and they're calling him.
Yeah, Clayton Wandler got the call right, I believe. And Steven Andrzejczyk didn't even argue. He just jumped up and jogged off the field. Here's the play there. There's McTavish running, and he misses the bag. He's pleading his case to Clayton Wandler, but no such luck. So the Gulls get out of a jam through 7.5. They trail 4-2 coming to bat in the 8th. Well, a new pitcher on the mound for the Lethbridge Bulls. That's number 38, Brandon Carter, taking over from the starter, Max Marakovich, who had a very good night. And he's having a little meeting with the catcher, Adonis Bernal, who's had a tough night behind the plate. And mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be catchers. There's one, and the bat. There's another one. There's Junior Garcia taking one. There's Bernal taking one more in a dangerous area. So you want to be a catcher, huh? It takes a special kind of person to get behind the plate, let me tell you, no matter what level of baseball you're playing. So Matty Fung will lead things off here. Great job, by the way, guys, getting that little catchers getting beat up package there for us to point out just how difficult that job is. 1-1 the count on Matty Fung. He took a walk back in the 5th inning, but then was erased as one of the excellent double plays that have happened tonight. 2 by the Bulls, 1 by the Gulls. That's why we are sitting at 4-2 right now. And the count 2-1. And that's called a strike on the outside corner, 2-2 now. And Matty Fung steps out, gets his thoughts collected, and steps right back in to face Brandon, sorry. And Cooper steps in and fires a fastball past Matty Fung for the first out of the inning. A good pitch there. A little bit of movement on him. That'll bring up Junior Garcia, who has hit the ball hard a couple of times now, including one in the second with a double, and he drove in a run with that double. That misses down low for a ball.
Well, big inning here for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Junior Garcia, he led things off and got the crowd into it early in this ball game. 2 RBI double back in the 2nd inning, and he's since flown out right to the Carter Clarehout local kid from Red Deer over at first base.
One and one the count on Junior Garcia. Watches that go by for a strike. So he's behind 1-2. Kyle Lewis is on deck. Gulls looking to generate some offense here. They haven't scored since the 2nd inning. I'm looking to see the last time they had a base runner. That was in the 6th. Tai Yukamoto got on with a single. And he stayed there.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. A lot of 3 up, 3 downs. In fact, 4 in a row, I should say, for Lethbridge. So they've been efficient with these batters of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, not giving them a lot of room to work with. And this new pitcher is picking up from where his co-pitcher left off, as this is grounded right to the guy that's been absolutely deadly all night, and he continues to be deadly again. J.C. Spinoza. That guy does not miss. Wow.
But watch the grab by Carter Clarehout.
Deep in the hole, and then, yeah, Clarehout with the long stretch. And we know Clarehout can do those plays. He's a very flexible, big guy.
He and Spinoza team up for yet another good play here. And Kyle Lewis will step in to face Brandon Carter, who has done a good job here shutting the Gulls down in the 8th inning.
Well, at least for the Gulls, you want to at least get one run in this inning, take a little bit of pressure off in the ninth. But they're just getting rang up right now by this pitching staff of the Lethbridge Bulls. Brandon Carter, you know, he's from Downsville, LA, goes to Northwestern State University.
Oh, and 2 the count on Kyle Lewis. That misses outside. Now, by my count, and it could be wrong, there's been 5 in a row now. 3 up, 3 down innings for the Lethbridge Bulls. This could be 6.
Yep. You're right. I said 4 earlier, so I stand corrected. You're right, 5.
Well, that's why when you said that, I thought, well, I'm going to take a look too.
Yeah, no, appreciate that.
Case.
Thank
And
you.
I went, oh,
I just didn't go far enough back.
Yep.
So,
the
yeah.
3rd inning on.
Thanks for catching that.
The Gulls have been silenced. Couple of base runners. That's it. And they get erased by double plays in the 5th and the 6th inning.
Mm-hmm. And those are big. Yeah, those are huge plays.
Yes.
You know, that's what good teams in the WCBL will do to you. You think you're starting to get a little bit of traction, and then they can shut the door down pretty quickly.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the Gulls center fielder, Kyle Lewis. Looking to keep this inning alive for the Gulls and claw their way back in. Only down by 2. But the way the Bulls are pitching tonight with their starter Marakovic and now this young man, Carter, doing a good job. Count now full on Kyle Lewis with the top of the order, Tai Yukamoto, waiting on deck. And that misses, so the Gulls have themselves a base runner now. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Yukamoto, who singled his last time up. That was the last base hit the Gulls got in the 6th inning. But then Yukamoto was erased during a double play.
Yeah, that was the last double play that Bulls had. And it was the hard one, the 5-4-4-3 double play. But Yukamoto's been playing pretty solid tonight. He's 2 for 3 at the bat, as you mentioned, Jim. He has that big homer back in the 1st. And man, would a homer right now do a lot of great things.
That was the first hit of the game for the Gulls.
Yeah. Very first batter, first play of the game. Right over the right field wall.
He sends this back out of play. 1-1 now, with Jaden Flores hoping to get a shot here in the 8th inning with base runners on.
Crowd's hanging in here.
They are. And so is Tai Yukamoto. He keeps fouling off pitches, good pitches by Brandon Carter.
So should the Lethbridge Bulls win tonight and hang on for this win, then they will be tied with the Sylvan Lake Gulls for the 2nd place in the West Division heading into tomorrow night's matchup. So that'll make tomorrow night's matchup really interesting. And there goes Kyle Lewis for second. Now the aggressive base running starts, and he's going to get there safely. A really good play there by Lewis. Gets a great lead off of first base, and he heads right down as soon as that throw comes, and he gets there in time, and that is a great slide, just in the nick of time.
And a good call there by Clayton Wandler, right on, or Matt Payne, I should say.
Yep.
Right on the money with on the bag. Oh, that might have been Clayton Wandler over it.
Yep, that will be Clayton Wandler, yeah.
So, good call either way.
Yeah, whoever it was, good call.
One of those guys in black made a really good call right there. 2-2 the count now. And Yukamoto trying to scoot this through the shortstop, and he beats that out. And Kyle Lewis is going to try and score. And there's one of those occasions where maybe maybe he should have held up at third base.
Yeah.
But they're aggressive, and when you're aggressive, thinking, that might work in your favor. So a threat is erased. The Gulls trail 4-2. We're headed to the top of the ninth.
Garrett Lundmark will step on the mound. It'll be his night to finish here as the Lethbridge Bulls head in the top of the ninth with a 2-run lead.
Top of the ninth inning now. The batter for Lethbridge, number 19, Adonis.
So this will be number 19, Adonis Bernal, who had an RBI single back in the second, and he gets pinged.
Now earlier, we showed a little package of the catchers, Adonis Bernal and Junior Garcia, getting hit by pitches behind the plate, and now he gets hit by a pitch at the plate. He just looks at his bench and goes like, yeah, anybody want to catch next game? Yeah.
He's had a tough go. He's had a very tough go.
So there's the over-under of 6.
Yeah. And this pitching staff's had a little bit of a tough go. I mean, in the last couple of innings, it's been some hits, batsmen, some walks. You know, the 6th inning was the last inning of solid defensive work for the Gulls, and then the 7th and 8th have just kind of turned into 7th, 8th, and 9th, I should say, have just kind of turned disastrous for this defense. And that one again close on the inside.
Will Turner had a look of disgust on his face when he turned away from that pitch. And a good pitch there by Lundmark. 1-2 the count.
Well, we might see one of the affiliates come in tonight, as that's number 40, Braxton Bussing from Coronation, Alberta. He goes to he's with the Gulls prep team, and he might have to come in here if Lundmark doesn't shut things down. But he gets a strikeout there on Will Turner, so I think he doesn't want to go anywhere just yet. Lundmark wants to make up for that hits batsman and gets a nice swing and a miss there.
He does on that play.
The shortstop, number 2.
That'll bring up J.C. Spinoza, the shortstop tonight, who has been outstanding for the Lethbridge Bulls. Again, I do not remember this young man playing with them the last time they were here, and he's been a really good addition to this team.
Yeah, you hit it right on the nail on the head there with the way this guy's been playing tonight. You know, if we were picking player of the game for Lethbridge Bulls, I think this would be one of the candidates here. And J.C. Spinoza, he has made some incredible defensive plays. And he pops this up to right field as calling everybody off, Jaden Flores, and now he finds it, makes a catch, and gonna make a long throw here to
gonna
first
make the double
for
play.
the double play.
They got him.
No.
Oh, I think
quite.
they got him. I think they got him.
Brooks Bachman got ran into there on the play, lost his shoe, and he's kind of limping this one off a little bit here. Let's take a look at this replay.
Adonis Bernal was
Talk
way
about
off
a
the
throw
bag.
from Flores. This was an absolute dart.
Oh,
okay,
no,
he
safe.
did get there in time, but then
He de-shoot
it was
Brooks
Bernal
Bachman.
that, accidentally ran right into the foot of Brooks Bachman, and looks like he's going to be okay because Rob Manka's heading back to the bench. Came out just to make sure, but good throw from Flores to make it interesting, nonetheless.
Well, we know he's got a strong arm. And like I say, Adonis Bernal was way, way down the base path towards second. Maybe a little too far. You know, you said nail on the head. I got to share this with you.
Okay.
I've been contacted by a television producer in the central Alberta area. They're doing a TV show on YouTube. And it's called Dr. Z. And I've been asked to play a recurring role. And I get to dispatch a zombie by using a hammer.
Oh, okay. Very
on his head.
Very graphic.
It is.
All right.
And not just one hit.
Oh.
Several hits.
Okay. You're going to have fun with that, aren't you?
I think I might.
Make sure you keep your mouth closed.
Well, I will. You don't want zombie brains in your mouth.
No.
I hear that's bad. Tai Yukamoto slides back into shallow left field and makes the grab over at shortstop. So the Gulls and Garrett Lundmark come out here without giving up a run. They keep it 4-2. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Well, the Lethbridge Bulls have placed the ball in the hands of this young man, Donovan Gamez, from San Antonio, Texas, to close things out here. A 4-2 Bulls lead. And he'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, Jaden Flores, Brock Tiarina, and Anthony Gilbert. So not an easy task, never is, but he'll have his hands full with that those three batters right there.
Yeah, it's all about how you start too. If you're Jaden Flores, just get on base and try to keep the momentum going early in the right favor. You got 2 runs to score, and that would just really get the juices flowing for the offense after you. So Gamez goes to LLU as well, as we should mention. And a great night for that little short stint that Brandon Carter pitched, as he keeps his ERA to 0.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, he's only had 3 games, and he's only had 3 innings, so he does inning a game. He must be one of those pitchers that are on a heavy watch from their university or college with inning counts.
Maybe, yeah.
And so I think that might be why, and he's only given up 1 hit in 4 games.
So he's been
I
good.
guess 2 now in 4 games.
He's been good.
Yeah.
We got Christmas lights going on out in right center field there, or beyond the wall?
Yeah, I think you're not hallucinating. That's correct.
Good. Okay, I'm glad you see it too. I'm thinking that looks like a palm tree.
Well, you got a palm tree and then a Christmas tree.
Yeah. There we are.
Those two don't
Thanks.
go well together.
Thanks,
What the heck's
guys.
that all about?
I'm thinking, okay, somebody's having a campfire and they got a little palm tree going and they got a Christmas tree going and shedding some light on the subject.
That's a confusing setup.
Well, you got both seasons.
I know. That's why it's confusing.
1-2 the count on Jaden Flores. As Gamez misses outside, but that to even the count at 2-2. The Gulls trying to rally here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Do they have it in them? We'll see. The Bulls have been full marks for their 4-2 lead here tonight, though.
Absolutely, yep.
Defensively, and they've got just enough offense to put 4 runs across.
Now, should the Gulls win tonight, if they come back and they somehow pull this off, that would, that would make things really interesting. Put the pressure on the Lethbridge Bulls, for the remaining of the season, because then that means that they're 2 games back of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and then it's just a little bit trickier for them to, get themselves back to home field advantage. But the win tonight, that puts them back to tie, and then that makes tomorrow night's game very meaningful. Tonight was a meaningful game, but tomorrow even more so. Just all of these games going forward are huge, huge games, and wins are big. As we mentioned in the pregame show and all night long.
Full count. And Jaden Flores, he waits.
Oh, I thought the full count was there. I guess.
I thought they would said 3-2 on the board.
It
Yeah,
did?
it does.
There he
yeah.
goes. Okay. I don't know if he knew that.
I thought maybe he was kind of waiting, saying, I wonder if he's going to call me out on that one.
Okay.
But he didn't. And the leadoff batter, Jaden Flores, gets on base. So the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Brock Tiarina. And I'd mentioned earlier that Brock has been hitting the ball hard. He is 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. But now would be the time to get your first hit of the evening.
This is huge. And the wind is favoring him as a lefty here, going left to right on the field. And he pops us to left, but it's going over the fence, and it'll be out of play in the picnic area.
And if we remember, I mentioned that Coach Chatwood told me if there's one guy that's got a green light on this team to steal a base, that's Jaden Flores.
Yep.
But he's got to make 100% sure, because you do not want to get thrown out and snuff out a rally.
Cannot afford it at this point of the game. Nope. Oh.
And a throw over to first.
You got to also be careful with that, too.
Yeah, then there's that.
Yeah.
So Tiarina behind 0-1. Bottom of the 9th inning. And he holds back on that, and they check down over with Clayton Wandler, who's out by second base, and he didn't see anything.
I'd say that's the right call, too.
Yep.
Brock Tiarina did a good job of pulling that back.
And good job by Levi Wagner to check with his fellow umpire to see if he went around.
Oh, yeah. We've been seeing that pitch getting called strikes. We've been seeing that pitch getting called balls tonight. You just don't know. And as a batter, it makes it really challenging to not, how do you know what to swing on, right? It's one of those nights where it makes it tricky to know, okay, do I let that go? Do I swing at it? You just got to trust that what your eyes see is what the umpire's eyes see as well, and go with your gut.
So 1-2 the count on Tiarina. Nobody out. Bottom of the 9th. Gulls trailing 4-2. Looking to have some dramatics here for the hometown fans. That misses up high. Donovan Gamez has the challenge of facing the 2-3-4 hitters in the bottom of the 9th with a 2-run lead. And Tiarina fouls that off. The catcher once again.
Yep. just taking a beating tonight.
Adonis Burnell is just kind of going, what? Why am I got to learn to pitch or something. Play center field. Get away from the ball. Far away from the ball.
So I've been watching Chatwood tonight, and he's had some words for home plate umpire Levi Wagner, and he's brought the balls out to Wagner a couple times, and every time that he's brought out some balls, he's had words to say, and he's exchanged some words. Not sure if they're nice words. One time for sure I know weren't nice words. He really hung around for a while, but that time he just had a few words for Wagner, and Brock Tiarina goes out swinging there. Just a lazy swing, called the strike. Good pitch there by the number 11 and Donovan Gamez. An absolute sinker.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looked like it was coming in the strike zone, and Tiarina couldn't hold back on that one. That'll bring up the third baseman, Anthony Gilbert, who is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts on the night. That misses down low. As Gamez starts him off with a ball. Jaden Flores still over at first base with one down. I guess he has not seen what he wants to see in order to take advantage of stealing a base. And Anthony Gilbert sends this down the left field line. That's going to drop in, and surprisingly, Jaden Flores held up at second.
Yeah, I thought he could have had a chance to go for third there. You know, maybe just a smart play. He doesn't want to get too greedy with the base running, but sometimes you got to. And I think if this play with being deep in the hole in left field, that he could have had a really good chance. But he respected the throw.
Yep.
And you know what? After seeing that throw from Bernie Sequeiros, I think Flores would have been safe over at third.
So runners on first and second now for Cleary Simpson.
You remember his name, right?
Clutch Cleary.
This is a great opportunity for him.
Well, the stage is set.
Absolutely, it is.
The go-ahead run is at the plate. The winning run is at the plate.
Could I see a little bit of deja vu from season 1? The first run of the Gulls that they scored, or the first home run, I should say, that we've seen from the Gulls come off the bat of this guy. Can he do it in a situation like this?
We will find out momentarily.
You know, and that wind is pushing, like I said, from the east to the west, a little bit in the face as well from the south to the north. So it's kind of a maybe crosswind of southeast to northwest. That would favor Cleary Simpson if he turns on this ball. You saw the ball get held up in the wind from Anthony Gilbert. I think he got really good contact on it, but then it just died in left field.
So 0-1 the count there as Simpson watches that go in for a strike. Runners on first and second, 4-2 Lethbridge. And Simpson rips this foul down the first baseline. And he's behind 0-2. Brooks Bachman, he is on deck. The 0-2 pitch to Cleary Simpson, bottom of the ninth. And a called third strike. So the Gulls are down to their last out, and that's a good pitch there by Gamez.
It's a tough one for Cleary to watch go by. So all hands and all eyes rely right here on Brooks Bachman to keep things going, the 2-out rally. It's got a base hit so far tonight, 1 for 3.
And the batters will, or the runners, will be going on any contact. So you might see a little gamble by Jaden Flores. Maybe not. And Anthony Gilbert's got some speed over at first as well. So something in the gap. We'll get one, possibly two. But we got to get the hit now. As Bachman fouls that back. 1-1 the count. Matty Fung is on deck. Bachman looking to keep this inning alive and give his team a chance to get a run at least two now in order to have an opportunity to win this game. Oh, and he shoots this foul down the left field line.
That didn't miss by much.
No, that could have that would have scored one for sure, and it would have been real interesting to see what they would have done with Anthony Gilbert rounding second. As they do the crack of the bat, and they go. And they will be going on this one as well. That's fouled out of play.
Gulls back down to their last strike. Again, Gulls will get ready for Bulls tomorrow night. The rematch goes down at 7 o'clock, Friday night action here at Gulls Field before welcoming the Energy City Cactus Rats back to town for one last game. And then they'll finish out the regular season with back-to-back home-and-home games against the Okotoks Dogs. So lots of baseball still left to be played for this week anyways. And a good eye there by Bachman to stay alive.
Evens the count at 2-2. The Gulls scoring once in the first and once in the second, and that is been it for the night. Bulls did the same thing, and then they got two more in the seventh. That's where we sit, 4-2 Lethbridge. As Gomez steps off the rubber and gets set again to deliver the pitch. 2-2 the count, two down, bottom of the ninth. That misses outside. And you'd almost want to just let the crowd call this one.
Yeah.
Well, a strikeout of the side to end the game for the Lethbridge Bulls as they come off the bench to congratulate their closer, Donovan Gomez, as he does the job, striking out Brooks Bachman to end the game. 4-2. The Lethbridge Bulls walk away with that one. And full marks. They played very well tonight after getting throttled the last time they were here in 6 innings, 12-0.
Yep, they got their revenge against the Gulls for sure from that 12-0 blowout win that the Gulls had over the Bulls. But, you know, with the Lethbridge Bulls, as you mentioned, they played a hard game. But if you're the Sylvan Lake Gulls, it was just one inning that got away on them that they can't afford to have happen down the stretch, especially at this time of time of season. You got to be strong in all your innings, and you get one inning that gets away from you. These teams are going to take advantage of that and run away with it, and they did that tonight. So we're going to hand things down to Jared Waldo with our player of the game for the night.
As it is time for your Ichi Auctions player of the game. Tonight's player of the game, Tai Yukumoto. Ty, that was a good ball game from what we saw, I'm sure from what these fans saw, and something that we probably could have expected having the 2-3 teams here tonight in Sylvan.
Yeah, we just had to compete tonight, but we just fell up short.
A little short. You hit that home run early. I think it was the second pitch you're at bat. It goes yard. You've been playing well as of late. Just talk about your performance right now.
I don't know. I'm just trying to have fun and kind of live these last games, but if I have fun, I kind of perform better, so that's why I got to do that.
You know what? And we've got a few more home games here to close it out. I think the majority of the games left before the postseason is here at home. Maybe talk about what your experience has been like in Sylvan Lake playing in front of these fans.
I don't know, Sylvan Lake's been blast. I never got to play in front of this many fans, so that's a huge plus. And playing here in Canada is a different experience I'm grateful to have.
Well, we're grateful to have you here, and we'll look forward to hopefully picking up that W tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Your ladies and gentlemen, EG Auctions player of the game, Tai Yukamoto.
Tai Yukamoto, the EG Auctions player of the game, and yeah, what a game he had with the bat, but also defensively. He turned that double play in the 7th inning to just stop things there, you know, and it could have definitely gotten a lot worse for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in that 7th inning, but they gave up the 2 runs, and those 2 runs were enough for the Lethbridge Bulls to then steer this game home and complete the win, now tying the Gulls for that 2nd place spot in the West Division, and it is just going to be a fight right to the bitter end for who's going to come away with not only home field advantage, but the 1, 2, 3 place teams in the West Division and 4th.
And we've seen this between Lethbridge and Sylvan Lake before, where they've come down to the last few games of the season, and it's meant something, and one team's got to come out on top, and well, we know which one we're pulling for, but you know, we're a little biased.
Just a little bit, but
just a little bit.
The Lethbridge Bulls are back in town tomorrow night, and we will get ready for yet another one as this final stretch continues here at Gulls Field. Only 4 games remain on the regular season, 3 here at home, and that was Matthew McKenzie gets the start, but it all started with a big bomb over the right field wall thanks to that guy, the player of the game, Tai Yukamoto, got everybody into it early. The catchers, they had a little bit of a tough night. They got beat up tonight. The fans had a lot of fun watching, though. And Matty Fung did he picked up from where he left off last night as he had another solid game. Snapman celebrating with Sully the Gull, and it was a night for maybe not the Gulls to celebrate, but more for the Lethbridge Bulls. So they'll do it all over again tomorrow night. Jaden Flores with the sparkly shoes, and they'll look for revenge tomorrow night. For Jim Claggett, I'm Cale Clark and the broadcast crew at Green Onion Media. Thanks for watching another Gulls broadcast with another bird's eye view on this one. We'll see you tomorrow night.